Hi, my name is Khushi Singh. I'm a third year student at Bennett University, pursuing Bachelor's in Technology in Computer Science Engineering. In this video, we will be diving into the topic of natural language processing, the technology that forms the heart of Alexa, Google Assistant, and Cortana. There's no doubt human beings have evolved and made tremendous advancement over the time. The evolution of humans and science can be mapped to our ability to communicate and share information. Today, we have over 6,500 languages that are spoken and written. Numerous amount of data is generated, holds impactful amount of information which can be used for further better purposes. Today, we just don't have human to human conversation. It's more of human to machine conversations present in our day to day lives. The subtle reality to have machine talk and respond to us in a human like manner is a reality which keeps enhancing with the passing days. Like the people you ask for your queries on your websites, your smart assistant, even calls made over the internet, of all of them have one thing in common: none of them are actually human. How are these conversations carried out so intelligently? Well, the answer lies in the power of cognitive AI and its methodology called natural language processing. Natural language processing, or NLP, refers to the branch of artificial intelligence that gives the machines the ability to read, understand, and derive meaning from human languages. NLP combines the field of linguistics and computer science to decipher language structure. It pursues to fill the gap between human communication and computer understanding. Every day, humans interact with each other through public platforms and social media. Therefore, we have the crux need to analyze the need of NLP. We are extremely dependent onto our daily lives. We transfer vast quantities of freely available data to each other. This data is extremely useful in understanding human behavior and customer habits. Experts utilize this data to give machine the ability to mimic human linguistic behavior, and this helps to save millions in terms of manpower and time, as we always don't have the need to have a person sitting at the end of the system or the end of the phone. NLP makes it feasible for computers to understand the text, hear the speech, interpret it, measure the sentiments, and figure out which parts are significant and important for um, data extraction and data analysis. Lastly, out of these humongous amount of data collected randomly, we can classify the important tracks and discard the rest. Huge unstructured data is converted to structured and meaningful data. Components of natural language. Natural language processing technique is further subdivided into bases of its operation and task. The most generic NLP components are natural language understanding. It is a branch of artificial intelligence that uses computer software to understand input in form of sentences using text or speech. NLU enables human computer interaction. For example, that allows computer to understand commands without formalized syntax of computer. NLU always enables computers to communicate back to human in their own specific language. Natural language generation is the use of artificial intelligence to produce written or spoken narratives in plain English format from a given dataset. Let us now analyze how NLP works. We have a series of processes in our NLP pipeline that help us achieve structured, meaningful data from unstructured, large data and make it understandable to the computer. The first process that we start with is segmentation. Text segmentation is the process of dividing written text into meaningful units such as words, sentences, or topics. We break the entire sentence into sub-sentence based on the punctuations, like full stop, commas, and colons. Each punctuation refers to a different topic that relates to a different information. For example, we have a sentence: cricket was invented in England. It was a game played by shepherds who herded their flocks. So, here in the sentence, if we do segmentation onto it, we get two sub sentences. The first sub sentence which we get is cricket was invented in England. This is because we encounter a comma after England, so we get the first sub sentence. The second sub sentence is the other half of the sentence, which is it was a game played by shepherds who herded their flocks, because flocks is terminated by a full stop. Let's move forward to the second step. Next, we perform tokenizing, a process wherein each sentence is broken into its constituent word called tokens. These tokens are stored and meaning of each token is then composed. For example, we have the same sentence, cricket was invented in England. In this sentence, we have five constituent words, and hence the sentence is divided into five tokens. The step 3 of our NLP pipeline is removing of stop words. Our sentences might have not so valuable words that do not add any meaning to the sentence. Therefore, we suggest or prefer to remove such words from our analysis. These words are just basic connectors that make the sentence more cohesive and sound more apt. These words are called as stop words. In our same example, we observe the words like was and in as just coherent connectors of grammatical words that do not have any self suggested meaning to them. Therefore, we remove such words. Stemming. Stemming groups together different inflected forms of a word called lemma. Words like skipping, skips, and skipped, they have the stem word as skip. The output word is a base word called the proper word or the stem word. In our same example, cricket was invented in England. We observe the word invented. It has its lemma as invent. The lemma had a suffix added ed to it to make it invented. Therefore, we can convert the word invented to the root word or the stem word invent. The fifth process in the pipeline is lemmatization. In lemmatization, root word is called lemma. A lemma is a canonical form or a dictionary form or a citation form of a set of words. For example, runs, running, and ran are all form of the same word, run. Therefore, run is the lemma of all these words. Cricket was invented in England. In this example, we observe that the word cricket has its root word or the lemma as cricket. Was has its root word as be. Invented has its root word as invent. In has its root word as in. Similarly, England being a proper word has its root word as England. Now for the step 6, we have POS tagging. Tagging process involves using labels to provide content with additional information. Tagging is primarily used to make information easier to find or to link. Speaking the grammatical type of the word is referred to as POS tags or parts of speech. It indicates how a word functions in a meaning as well as grammatically, like noun, verb, adverb, or prepositions. For example, in a sentence, cricket was invented in England, the word cricket is a noun. Was is a verb. Invented is also a verb. In is a preposition. England is a noun. And was is a verb. The step 7 of our NLP pipeline is name entity tagging or name entity recognition. It is the process of detecting such name entities such as person names, location names, company names, etc. from the text. In this, we flag the fundamental entities in the text like name of the movies, important personalities, company, locations, etc., and divide them into predefined categories. Tagging. There are three steps. In tagging, we have three steps, which are noun phrase identification, phrase classification, and entity disambiguation. For example, in the same sentence, which is cricket was invented in England, cricket is the noun, was is the verb, invented is the verb, in is a preposition, England is the noun, and we have the word was, which is the key verb. The next step that we have is chunking. Chunking refers to picking up individual pieces of information and grouping them together. Since now that we have realized we have this entire sentence, we have been constantly dividing the sentence into tokens and like stem words and all of it. So chunking is the reverse process wherein we take up these segmented forms and we started casting them into bigger chunks and accumulate and start deriving meaning from the sentence. Chunks in NLP refers to grouping of words or tokens into chunks. In the same example, we realize that uh, cricket forms a noun phrase one, and all of the other things are like grammatical formations, and England is the noun phrase two. So basically, in this noun phrasing, the entire crux of the meaning of the sentence lies. Now, after looking at the entire pipeline of NLP, let us see how does this pipeline actually implement it. Which tools automate the process and how do we achieve the results? We use Python and its core libraries for NLP called NLTK, that is Natural Language Toolkit for Natural Language Processing and Text Analysis. We further use model like Naive Bayes to teach our model human sentiments and speech. We now have a look to the closer applications of NLP. So the first and the most important application of natural language processing is sentiment analysis, be it Twitter or Facebook sentiment analysis in every single public platform or like social media. It is being used heavily nowadays. Chatbots. We all have used customer chat services at some point in our lives. Chatbots have the ability to understand a concern, which is delivered in natural language to us. Like we deliver our queries in the form of natural language to the chatbot, and the chatbot in return gives us a response for the same concern. Voice assistants like Siri, Google Assistant, and Cortana, they all have their roots in natural language processing. Google Translate, which uses NLP to translate data from one language to another, that too in real time. Spell checking tools like Grammarly uses NLP widely and broadly through their application. Keyword search and extracting words from documents and auto suggester or auto corrects, they all are like parts of NLP. And one of the coolest application of natural language processing is advertising, and it is done in a very vast scope, and it is used by many people and many companies and many domains. Advertising matching basically like recommendations based on your history, on your commands, on your search history and your queries, etc. It is done on those basis. NLP is also used for making digital and automated phone calls. Various email filters, various tags, auto fetching word techniques, and other things are also used in emails. Email widely use the concept of NLP throughout their processes. Spam detection. Best spam detection technology use NLP's text classification capabilities to scan emails for language that often indicate spam or phishing. Virtual agent or chatbots. Virtual agent like Apple Siri, Amazon's Alexa uses speech recognition to recognize patterns in voices and commands. Text summarization. Text summarization uses NLP technique to digest huge volumes of data. With this, we reach to the end of the video, and I hope you liked the video, and thank you so much for watching.